Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with the Rocker Chic and J-Dub. What up?
What up?
So how's your week been?
Good. Not bad.
Anything more exciting than just work?
No.
No, nothing at all. Just work.
Just work. The dog's feeling better.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last few weeks have been miserable for me.
You have had it rough.
You've had it rough.
Well, you know,
His hairdresser's leaving him. His dog was sick. Work shit.
Boss is an asshole.
Boss is an ass. No, yeah, work shit. Team Tejas leaving. The dog is sick. That's the worst part. I mean, you know, the other parts are bad. Don't get me wrong, but when Ozzy was sick, that was absolutely horrible because you don't know how to make him feel better. Trying all kinds of things. Everybody's like, "Did you try pumpkin?" Yeah, he wouldn't eat it.
Nope.
He wouldn't eat the cottage cheese. He didn't like the rice. He loves the fucking chicken, though. He ate the chicken like, "You got more chicken for me?" Yeah, I know you do. What else did we try?
Baby food.
Baby food.
Baby food.
That
Yeah.
was,
What?
Jeremy brought
No.
home some dog food that was in like a pouch, and
Ew.
you don't want to see that stuff come back up because it looks like exactly what it looked like when it went in. So, yeah, he almost made me throw up.
Yeah.
Cleaning up his throw up. So it was,
But he's back to his old self again. He's feeling much better. And how was he when you went in the house just a little bit ago?
oh, he was good.
Is he pissed that we're all out here and
Yeah.
he's not with
Oh,
us?
Yeah.
We probably could have just brought him out, but then he would have
yeah.
peed all over everything. It's hard to tell with that guy.
Just sniffed everything. That's all you'd hear in the microphone. Everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. Well, he'd be all over J-Dub's shoes.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, my daughter and her husband came over for a visit, and they had actually stayed in Fort Wayne, and they were on their way back to their place back up in around Gary, and the place that they had a bunch of dogs, and Trevor's pants smelled like all these different dogs.
I think Trevor had to have had food and wiped his hands on his pants or something too, because never.
No, I think it's other dogs. I think it's because when J-Dub come in there, he was like licking her shoes. I mean, he's got this thing where he's like, "This smells like another dog. I better lick it."
Time to get him.
Oh man, you know, from one
Fixed.
guy to another. I'm not saying I'm gonna chop off his nuts. That's terrible. Poor little guy.
We'll quit doing that if we do.
Do you think he'll quit doing that?
Yes, because he won't care anymore.
All right, well,
screw it.
I'll tell you what. I will leave that up to you. You can make that phone call. You can take him to his appointment. You can put ice on his balls for 4 days.
Oh my God.
It's not that bad.
No.
You make the appointment. I'll take him and get it done and baby him until he's better. But yeah.
Okay, so I have to call and make the appointment.
Yeah.
And you will take him?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that is recorded, and all of our listeners now have heard that.
So he might have to take the day off.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm telling you right now. I cannot do it.
God.
I cannot look that little guy in the eyes and say, "You're about to get your nuts cut off."
You can't look your little guy in the eyes either. Yeah.
Well, I guess it really doesn't matter much, though, does it?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have learned to live without sex.
So happens to get older. Oh, anyways.
Jen's like, I don't want to talk about this. She's even looking away. She's looking in the other direction.
Well, your face is a little red.
Always when I talk about sex, I always get a little red in the face. I went with my straight face.
Straight face.
Straight face. Anyways, dog's feeling better, and then my hairstylist said that she was taking a sabbatical, and it's for a good cause. She's going to take care of her mom. Her mom is 90 and in poor health, so she's going to move her back into her house and take care of her, and that's understandable. But now that was just
he was almost in tears when he came home.
It's
almost.
It's an add-on to what was a really piss poor couple of weeks.
I think you'll be okay.
You think I'll make it? So just let it all grow out till she comes back.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
I don't miss. I don't miss long hair at all.
Long hair for you people need not apply.
I just hated it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. That's why I keep mine short.
Yeah.
And I need to go get it cut again because it's
terrible.
at that point.
I get mine trimmed tomorrow. My mop.
Is that after work?
Mm-hmm.
I always try to keep my stuff after work. My doctor's appointments, my hair appointments, and stuff like that. I've had coworkers over the years that love to smack dab that shit right in the middle of the day. It's like, oh, I have a hair appointment at 11:30.
Oh, yeah. We have one that does that. My OT appointments are like at 9:30, but they're so swamped that that's the only time they can get me.
Oh,
in.
no. No. That's a little different.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're not working with Big Dan, though. Well,
I have OT, not PT.
I know. But still, he would be the one that I want to go to for everything. He's so much fun. Yeah, that being said, murderers are going to be doing some changing up in their world too. So, yeah, just a lot going on over here at the old Golden Mojo Entertainment. Keeping it real.
Change is happening.
Change. And part of the change is you got us this week.
Yay!
On the United States of Paranormal.
Whoa.
We hope that we are entertaining you and you're enjoying the show as much as you have this past year. Ends up probably a little different without Team Teos, but we charge on. We forge on. Forge? Is that a good word?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's use that. Forge on. So in Team Booze Your Style, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you were stuck in a TV show for a month, what show would you pick and why? And what character would you be?
Ooh.
How you like that one?
I like it. Mine would be Supernatural.
Oh, shit.
And I'd be whoever is fucking Dean. See how quickly I answered that question? I can't see his face. You knew that was coming.
I did know that was coming. How about you, J-Dub?
Okay. I'd be Caroline in the Vampire Diaries because she had one of every of the hot guys.
Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She had every
that's
single
a good
one
pick
of them.
Too. That is a good pick. Damon all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yummy.
Woo!
Him's yummy.
Woo!
All right, Jeremy, your turn.
Yeah. Who are you fucking?
I would be Richard Castle.
Oh.
So I could fuck Beckett.
All right.
Hey,
There you go.
Yeah, she's
There you
hot,
go. We had a party for
Yes.
Montana, and we said come as your favorite TV show characters or movie characters or whatever, and he was Castle and I was Beckett.
Oh, nice.
We went and got the flak jackets, and her said police, mine said writer.
That's cute.
It was fun.
It was.
Yeah. We didn't win anything, though.
No.
Oh, wait. We were the one doing we were one throwing the party.
True.
We've actually thrown some pretty epic parties in the years. Montana's was pretty great. Brad came as Uncle Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
He had the hat and the robe, and he just kept running around going, "This shitter's full." I can't remember who else. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. Trevor and Montana were Marilyn Monroe and James Dean.
Yes, and that's why we had the picture hanging in the hallway.
I think
Scott was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer.
Yep. I think Donnie came as John Bender from the Breakfast Club, or he was working his way towards that. Trying to remember who else was there. I got pictures around somewhere, but let's see. We threw one for Skylar too, which was an '80s party.
Mm-hmm.
So they had all the '80s trivia and all that stuff. So, and then we threw the big 40th birthday party for the Rocker Chick, which is it was a luau, quote unquote.
Quote unquote, yes.
Yeah, we had all the tiki stuff. You know, we didn't necessarily roast a pig or anything like that, but trying to think of what else we did that day. It was in the middle. It was the middle of summer, so it was hot as fuck anyway. So yeah, it worked out. Yeah, can you believe that's been over 10 years ago?
Yep.
You're getting old.
I know it. I feel it.
Everybody's out there doing the math. Well, wait a second. If they threw a 40th birthday party and it was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What other epic parties we have thrown? I think the biggest one was Slam Jam.
Oh, yeah. Slam Jams.
Which
they're good ones.
Our listeners could bring back. If you can get Golden Image Podcast over 4,000 views by June 30th, we will throw Slam Jam in September.
How close are you getting?
Oh, we're not even halfway there yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That is volleyball all day, rock and roll all night.
Woo.
Cool.
It was. We did it a couple years. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
We had a whole volleyball tournament and T-shirts made up for the winners, and the bands played after.
I think the old team won the first year.
They did.
Did they win the first
year? Well, I think the old team was stacked. I think somebody went out and got some professional volleyball players.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Stacked beyond words. And then we had like 2 or 3 throw-in teams that just like people who showed up and wanted to play but didn't have a team.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like, okay, you're like now team A and you're team B. But everybody else had names, I think. My sister and her husband are always big about it. They were always really, really into the whole volleyball scene. The first night we broke it in, I was actually we were in South Bend with your sister and your brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coming out of South Bend and we had this thing planned. We was going to break in the volleyball court. There's a bunch of people coming over just to play volleyball, and it is pouring rain, lightning, thunder, just the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'm supposed to be breaking this volleyball court in. I worked my ass off on it the whole summer, ready to break it in. And I remember we're driving out of South Bend, and I look up, and in the clouds is a giant open circle of sunlight, no rain. And do you want to know where it was at? It was right over our house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a little while.
For a while. So we got out there. Everybody showed up. We started playing volleyball. And then, of course, it started raining, thunder, and lightning. And we didn't stop.
Nope.
That would be fun.
We were a dirty mess. We were sand everywhere.
Oh, the blood from my knees from, the sand ripping through your wet flesh.
Because we didn't buy the good sand. There's
no,
some
we
rocks in there.
Oh, yeah. But it was a great time.
Yes.
That's right. I had bloody knees. Take that how you want to take it. I've got the Wilson volleyball,
Mm-hmm.
We don't play with him much, but we got him.
We do.
He's here. All right. So you guys are fucking the Vampire Diaries and the Supernatural guys, and that's a high bar to get over. So I just had to listen to old classic rock and drive a muscle car, and that might work out in my favor.
Yeah. No, you're pretty close. You're pretty close.
Pretty close to what? Fat old Dean?
That's right. You're my older version of Dean.
There you go.
Oh, I could go fight vampires and fucking shit. Werewolves, demons.
Everything, yeah.
I just want the trunk of that car. I was actually talking to my friend Phil last night about that. That would be what I want, was an arsenal in the trunk of my car, like those guys got.
Yep.
You know, you're not afraid to go anywhere. You just pop the trunk, push the little button, flaps up. You got all your guns and knives and. Can I do that to the Fusion?
Sure.
Or should I go
Don't
buy a
get
muscle
stopped.
car?
Don't get stopped.
I'm gonna go buy a muscle car.
Right.
And then we'll build it up like that.
There you go.
All right. Well, the Rocker Chick is going to be telling us a story today, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if it was a story.
Stories.
It's a location. Yeah.
It's a locale.
It's a locale.
All right. I'm all about it. Take it away.
Oh, okay. We're ready. We're ready to go on to the next cemetery in my list. That's right. We're going back.
We're going back to cemeteries?
cemeteries. Yes.
Okay.
So, this cemetery is located halfway between Brazil and Terre Haute, Indiana, on US 40, about half-mile south of Cloverland.
I've never even heard of Cloverland.
You've never heard of Cloverland?
I have not.
I don't know. It's closed dusk till dawn, like many cemeteries are, that I have learned.
Let me open my laptop back up so I can look up where Clovertown is.
Cloverland.
Cloverland. That's what I said was Cloverland.
This cemetery is known as the 100 Steps Cemetery, or the Carpenter Cemetery, or Cloverland Cemetery.
Cloverland.
Cloverland.
Land.
So it has 3 different names. It was established around the time of the American Civil War. Headstones date back to the 1860s. Some of the paranormal occurrences at this cemetery: robed figures doing satanic rituals, visions of the original caretaker, being pushed, sightings of a woman in white. There's a lot of cemeteries that see women in white.
Why is that?
Because back in the day, they didn't have a whole lot of choice for color, probably.
True. Odd grave.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Is it because they're buried in white? I mean, come on. They had.
Oh, maybe.
I'm just thinking of like some of the old dresses and stuff. There was always color in those. I mean,
It's
it wasn't.
in
I mean,
movies. They had like brown. They had black. They had.
but it's
white.
still color.
It's not like red or pink or purple. Lime green.
No little fancy gold embroidery.
So we'll just say that the dress is sold, that its color has washed out, and it's become a white, grayish type.
There you go.
Yeah. How about sightings of women in whitish gray?
It's dirty gray if they bury
Dirty gray.
Dirty.
Odd grave desecrations, hands coming out of the ground to try to trip you, cries of children or people echoing in your ears, chills, and they hear whispers. So that's just some of the occurrences at the 100 Step Cemetery. Do you want to know why they call it the 100 Step Cemetery?
I do.
You do?
Wait.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not because there's 100 steps to take it up to it?
There might be.
Oh, go ahead.
But there are some discrepancies in that, too. Some people say there are not 100 steps, but...
Here's what I know. Sometimes when I count, I get distracted and then I lose count, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm not walking back the 67 steps that I just walked to go recount, I'll count them on my way down.
True, and if you're walking up the steps and supposedly a place you feel is haunted, you would think that you'd be a little nervous and might miscount too. But some of the things say there's only like 68 steps, so that's a lot to miscount. So,
isn't there a thing about counting steps in certain? You're not supposed to count steps going into cemeteries or something like that.
Never heard that before.
I thought I'd heard that somewhere. United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Hit me up if you guys have ever heard of that. Is there a legend about counting your steps going to the cemetery?
This may be the legend that you're thinking of.
Oh shit! The fucking bed. Okay.
Yeah. So shh.
Yeah, I get it. Bad. I'm bad.
Okay, so the legend is, if you dare to enter the cemetery on a dark midnight evening and climb up the old steps, counting them as you go, aloud, when you reach the top and face the field of stones, an apparition of the first undertaker will appear. Without saying a single word, the ghost will show you a vision of death, of your death, and then vanish, leaving you alone. You are then supposed to go back the way you came, counting aloud the stone steps. But if you get a different number than what you got going up, you will die as the vision played for you. If you counted the same number, then you are safe. It was just a false prophecy. Is that what you heard?
I don't know that that's what I heard, but that's pretty fucking wicked, man. That's oh wow. Do you take that chance?
A lot of people have, and like I said, a lot of them say their calculations were different, and there were some that said they did see their
There are
death.
people that said that they had a vision of their own death.
Yes. Yes.
Are you willing to take that chance? Do you want to know when you're going to die?
I don't. I think I would take the other version of the legend.
There's another version?
There is another version.
Okay.
Of the
There's
legend.
another version, J-Dub. Watch out.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. The other version of the legend goes that if you try and trick the undertaker by walking in the grass next to the stone steps, an invisible force will knock you to the ground. Claims say they felt a hand shoving them. A large red handprint could be seen for days on their body. They say that is the mark of the devil himself.
So you'd rather be marked by the devil
Well, it's just for a couple days.
than to know how you're going to die.
Yes. The one story that I read, which was secondhand, so, it's probably just a tale.
Right.
But of a young kid going and doing this and seeing the vision that he would die from a head injury. And when he came down the stairs and counted the wrong number, he went back up the stairs, tripped, hit his head, and died. And they found his body lying on the stairs.
So how'd they find out that he had that
So that's what I'm saying.
vision?
Yeah, there might be a hole in that story.
There's
maybe-
definitely,
unless somebody was with him. Yeah, I mean,
and I'm sure, there wouldn't be. He wouldn't go by himself, but, it wouldn't make any sense that they found his body lying, you know what I mean?
yeah,
If there was somebody with him. So, but that was just a story, like I said.
maybe somebody killed him on the top of that stairs by giving him a head injury.
Yeah.
Could be.
He didn't really fall.
He could have got pushed. Maybe he tried it a couple times.
So you can't fuck with the old Undertaker guy.
Yes. Don't screw with the Undertaker. But they did recently just redo the stairs.
Why would they redo the stairs?
Because they were all decaying and crumbling into the ground, so they redid the stairs. So
They're an old wood stairs. Was that
no,
right? They were cobble?
They were concrete, but the grass was growing and breaking them and all that. So
that's I don't know, man. Do you want to know? That is the question. Do you want to know how you're going to die?
Well, if you want to know, go to the 100-step cemetery. Walk up the steps, counting them aloud. And then on the way back down, count them aloud again.
You get to the end and you're at the different number, then you're like, 57, 64!
You know, I'd be like, just step on the one step, like, to get to where I'm supposed to be, and the next step is the one down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you jump a couple if you're, if you've got more steps than what your number, it's like, 57, 58, 58. I don't know, man. How about you, J-Dub? Do you want to know?
Half of me says yes, and half of me says no. Like, I think I would rather know how I die than when I'm going to die.
I get that.
Like, it said, oh, you will die in 7 days. I don't want to know that.
Right.
But if it just says, oh, you're going to, get eaten by sharks, that's how you die. Oh, I'm staying the fuck away from the ocean.
I've always had a vision that I was going to die in some sort of boating accident, like, going over, I can almost like see like a waterfall or something. That's always been, since I've been very, very young, I've always had this vision that that's how I would die. And here recently, I've been noticing that my thought process of thinking it's a waterfall actually looks more like road than water. So I think eventually I will die in, say, like a car accident or, something to that effect. It's just a theory. You kind of grasp at things that you think you might see or know or whatever, but I don't really know. I think if you look at my palm, I have a very long lifeline, so apparently you're stuck with me for a long time, but
good.
I want to probably die like Elvis on the shitter.
Yes, and I will have to clean it up. Yep.
How long will you last without me? 2-3 days?
Yeah.
You just die of a broken heart?
Yes, I would.
I would. You know what? I would probably last about 2 or 3 days after your funeral. And I would die of a heart attack from fucking
celebrating so much. Yeah. There was a snort. Oh.
Did you catch that?
I did.
Okay.
I did. There was no sadness in there. It was just automatic.
You okay?
And that's why you're not getting sex.
Oh! Wowzers.
Hey-o. All right, so there is also a story about the 100-step cemetery that was reported in the Indianapolis Journal on November 20th, 1892. The tale states that the body of George West's daughter, who was buried at the cemetery, was taken from her grave. Mr. West had the body exhumed to move to another location, but was horrified to find that her coffin was upside down in the ground and the body of his daughter was missing. So that is one of the explanations between the woman and for the woman in white.
How the hell would that happen?
Well, back in 1892, the colleges in the area needed corpses, and supposedly they were taking them from the
They were grave robbing.
Yes.
But yeah, I could see that because I was watching a documentary on something, and it was back in the 1800s where the schools were advertising that they needed corpses, and they would pay for them, and they were robbing graves to give these schools, and they had to finally say, "Hey, that's enough." Well,
right. Yep.
That's somebody who dies, come to us, sign a paper that you're going to donate your body to science.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And hence, now it's on your driver's license.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying.
So is that it for the 100-step cemetery?
For the 100-step cemetery, so.
Right on.
That is it.
It's pretty. Actually, it's really interesting because that's really thought provoking to know that it's actually that close to us because it's only maybe 3-4 hours away, and we could go down there and see if we can.
Do you dare to walk up the stairs?
I don't know. I'm a pussy. I probably wouldn't dare to do it. I would.
We'd have to go at midnight, and they're closed from dusk till dawn.
Right.
Oh, it has to be at midnight? Did I miss that part?
It did say.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It did say on a dark, very dark midnight.
You just can't do it in the middle of the day.
No.
Well, you could try. I mean,
Did they talk about what the old guy looks like? Did they say at all? Is he like carrying a lantern?
I don't remember
envisioned.
any. Yeah, I don't know. No, there was no Kim carrying anything.
The old caretaker. Looks like the one from Scooby-Doo.
Old raggedy hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. You got another one for us?
I do. This one is... Really?
It really is.
Really is.
It really is.
Okay. So this one's
this
very
one's called
close.
the 100-step cemetery.
I just have to make sure because, it's kind of weird that I mentioned this town in the earlier one. So it's close to the 100-step cemetery. Highland Lawn Cemetery.
Okay.
Located in Terre Haute. Established in 1884. It's 140 acres and it has over 16,000 graves.
Wow.
What are they stacked on top of each other?
Okay, so this cemetery features an impressive entryway and a chapel on site that was built in 1893. These massive stone structures make the place a bit more historic and daunting. And it does. It's very castle-y looking.
Okay. You have a picture of it right there?
I do.
Oh, yeah. That looks like a castle.
Mm-hmm. Very castle-y.
Very, very castle-y.
So, one of the main ghost story rumors that is told about this graveyard is that a phantom bulldog named Stiffy Green, who refused to leave the cemetery when his owner died.
Oh.
The faithful dog stayed by the mausoleum until he died himself, though residents of the town would sometimes bring him food and water. The dog was stuffed and placed within the tomb with his owner, and ever since, barks have been heard from within.
That's fucking awesome. I love that.
Sightings of both the dog and his owner have been reported ever since the second burial. Some even report smelling the owner's pipe burning.
That's a good smell.
I like the smell of a pipe.
So, oh my gosh. Sorry, paper's turning.
That's a picture of the puppers?
Oh, he's cute.
This was, his owner died in 1920. And he was placed in the family mausoleum. The dog snarled at all who approached and stood centennial into the day. I can't say the guy's last name. Heinel's widow what? Heinel's widow found him dead on the mausoleum steps.
Gotcha.
The bulldog was stuffed, green glass eyes added, and placed inside the mausoleum, visible through the entrance gate.
That might freak me out a little bit.
Over the decades, the mausoleum became a favorite rendezvous for dating teenagers who would shine flashlights through its barred doors to see the dog's glowing eyes. They called him Stiffy Green, and the legend grew of the noble dog.
Oh, Stiffy.
Stiffy Green.
I've known people call things Stiffy Green, but for a whole different reason.
So here's the sad part. Several more decades passed. Teenagers in the 1980s,
fucking 80s kids,
no longer interested in legends nor satisfied with flashlights, fired a shotgun into the Heinl crypt and blew out one of Stiffy's eyes. He was removed from the mausoleum for safekeeping in the mid-1980s. So,
what the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah, there is looking into cemeteries. There's so much vandalism. The one we just talked about, the 100 Step. There was a guy there not too long ago that went there, to paranormal investigate, was taking pictures. Every single stone was spray painted. Every single one. It was sad.
I don't understand what's the point?
I don't know. Actually, our local cemetery just got vandalized, and I still have no fucking idea what the point of that was.
Bored kids.
Who needs a big old spanking?
Yeah, well, that takes on a whole new array of, why don't we just give them a timeout? Look at all the destruction they did. No, you take a fucking switch to their ass and beat it until it's bloody.
Yeah, and you're in jail for hitting a child. Because that's what they do now, they run and tell people.
My daddy spanked me. Fucking get your sand out of your JJ. You'll be fine.
So, like I said, he was removed from the mausoleum for safekeeping. The Terre Haute Lions Club, sensing a useful public service opportunity, built a full-size replica of the Heinl Mausoleum inside the County Historical Museum, and Stiffy was moved into it in 1989. He has been there ever since, safe to confuse yet another generation of Hoosiers and to grace the museum's most popular sweatshirt. So they have a
Stiffy Green shirt.
I want
one. And then also a Terre Hautean who grew up with the legend. They wrote in saying that Stiffy was never a real dog. He was, in fact, a cement fellow who adorned the front porch of the Heinl household and a favorite of Mr. Heinl's. He resides in our lower level in the replica of the family mausoleum.
So wait, the dog was not real?
According to this
Terre Hautean.
So we need to go to the County Historical Museum.
Yeah.
And see if he's cement or if he is a stuffed.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
bulldog.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down to Terre Haute.
We need to investigate further.
We'll go let you walk the steps and make your decision whether you're going to count out loud.
Okay.
And then we'll head down. I'm going to be down at the bottom. I'll be down over here, sitting off to the side, watching you climb fucking 100 steps. Fuck that. I do not want any part of that.
He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
And then we'll run down and look at Stiffy.
All right. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That's
you always hear about dogs doing that.
I love. Okay, so let me say a couple of things here. I am 100% against child abuse.
Yes.
My remarks a little bit ago are only for children who need to be punished for things that they are doing wrong, vandalism, stealing,
murder.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, your best bet as a parent is if you know your kid did that, call the cops on him and let him spend a couple days in jail.
Yeah,
that's true too.
Yeah, so,
just so you know, I say take a switch and beat their ass until they bleed. That's how I was. That's how I grew up.
That's how I grew up.
Me too.
Yeah, and I don't run around vandalizing shit.
Yeah, me neither.
Or killing anybody.
And as a kid, I would never go run and tell somebody that my dad spanked me because I was bad. You know, that was just not something you do. And I did something wrong. I deserved it. I mean, I never got.
Yeah, but he never caught you stealing his cigarettes, did he? Okay.
I never stole my dad's cigarettes. He smoked the raunchy cigarettes, the cheapies.
Anyway, on the other part of that is I love these animal stories. I mean, I love animals. I don't spend a lot of time with animals. I don't have a lot of. I don't know. I can't do what J-Dub does, where she just takes care of her horses and it puts all that time into that. I have never had that amount of time and patience to do that. But I love animals. So when we get a story like this, I want to believe the story the dog went and was heartbroken and died by his owner's grave. That makes a way better story than it was this sculpture out front of the house and they put it in the mausoleum.
Oh, I totally agree.
Although, in my mausoleum that you're going to put out back for me, I will take a sculpture of Ozzy. Mm-hmm. You can put him in there with me.
Okay.
You don't want him stuffed?
I'm hoping that he'll outlive me by many years to keep her company. Just saying.
So one more thing about
the Highland Cemetery?
The Highland Lawn Cemetery. Which you will agree with what this man did. Another commonly heard anecdote is in regards to a man named Martin Sheets, who had an unusually specific phobia. He was terrified of being buried alive.
I've heard that. I've heard that's a big phobia.
Mm-hmm. He arranged to make sure that this was an impossibility. He was decked out with an escapable casket with hinges to be able to be opened from the inside and a phone inside the mausoleum. He paid to keep the phone in service for years following his internment. And it's said that when his beloved wife died years later of a stroke, she was found clutching her phone. When Martin's tomb was reopened to lay her to rest beside him, the phone inside the mausoleum was reported to have been inexplicably off the hook.
That's creepy.
I've heard that story. I've heard that story that I mean, it's kind of it's an old myth tale that it was actually, I think the woman died of a heart attack when somebody who had tried to call his wife after moving to Florida and she was moving later, and he had called his wife and left a message, but it was the wrong number, and it was a message on the woman's phone whose husband had just died. And it was like, well, I just got down here and it is so hot, but I can't wait until you get here.
Oh my God. That'd be horrible.
It'd be terrible, but wish you were here type thing, one of those deals. But yeah, I've heard that story. I've heard the phone story. A couple different versions of it.
A couple different ones.
Yeah. Inexplicably. Say that word 7 times fast.
Yeah.
No.
No thanks.
So yeah, crazy.
So those were the stories from the Highland Lawn.
Well, nice job. I feel very informed about the cemeteries down by Terre Haute now.
Terre Hautians.
Terre Hautians. Grab your pitchforks and your torches. We're going to the cemetery.
We're going to go visit Stiffy Green.
I had the Ewald Cemetery, the Bremen Little Egypt Cemetery on. But there is really nothing.
No, I think most of that is going to be just hearsay stories.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's much on print on that one.
Nope. The only thing that was really written about that was a baby's grave and throwing a penny at it or whatever, and you'd hear a baby cry. That was the only thing I found, besides the girl being murdered on that road not too long ago. Remember that?
Yeah, it was part of a satanic ritual or some shit like that, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, it was a quote unquote.
Yeah, it was.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In high school.
In high school.
We went there a lot in high school.
A couple years ago.
Oh, shut up! I graduated in 2001.
Yeah, we did. We trekked out there. Well, I was the driver. I was the getaway driver, while Bobbi and her sister ran around the woods looking for the house, which they never did find. I got a funny tale from when I was a kid that I didn't. I don't know that you. Maybe I've told you years ago, but my dad's family lived out at Lake of the Woods.
Yep.
And we were actually coming home one night, and there'd been a lot of rain, and he actually went down that road. I remember going around the cemetery and going down, and that road is just so up and down, but it was completely flooded out, and he did not see it because we were coming back at night, and went through a washout of the road. It wasn't like washed away. There was still road, but it was completely covered in water. And when he managed to get up onto the next point when the car died, basically he soaked the engine in water,
right,
flooded it out. And I remember being stuck out there for hours while he tried to get that thing restarted. He was able to get it restarted. We actually did turn around because if you looked down the road farther, because you know how it's a really long road to get back over to Fur Road there.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, which way? I was like, well, we were supposed to go that way. Let's just go. And then you look down and you could just see the dips in the road in the completely flooded out area. And he's like, probably be wise for us to go back this way. I was like, okay. But yeah, we were stuck out at Little Egypt in the dark for many. It's kind of spooky out there. At that time of night. All those open fields, you can't see anything. It's just pitch black. But yeah, I've heard the stories for years of the house and the satanic worship and all that stuff. So, there's rumors of you can see somebody hanging from the tree or something. I forget exactly, but
so many different stories over the years.
Is that the one where if you find the house and you go to the stairs to go to the basement, they never stop? They just keep going and going and going?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. I mean, I heard my sister was older than me, so she told me the stories, that a boy murdered his family and burnt the house, and the remains of the house is still out there, and there was a bridge if you walked over it, and there was just so many different things, and then over the years it just kept changing. So
yeah. But they do a lot more policing of that area around Halloween because of the vandalism and of the, So I remember when I was in junior high that there was a rumor going around that they were looking for blonde-haired virgins to sacrifice out there. And, in my young age, I was like, I can take care of that for you. You don't have to be a virgin anymore.
Oh, God.
Hey, I was full of myself back in the day.
You were.
Were?
Still are.
You're full of something.
I'm full of something. Ego and grit. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? All right. Well, anyways, very nicely done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. I actually liked both of those. I thought you did a really good job. All right.
I still think I need a Stiffy Green shirt.
We have to go.
If we go, we'll get you a Stiffy Green shirt. All
Thank
right. Maybe you'll just go with us.
Okay.
We'll all go see Stiffy Green.
Yeah.
It just
We'll
sounds
be like,
weird.
Fuck, he is concrete. Yeah. Damn it.
That is true. You'll be able to tell at that point.
Oh, yeah, you would know. You would know.
Maybe he's like Frog Baby, and they just dress him up in there. So maybe he's wearing like a little sweater, and you won't be able to tell.
A little
Yeah.
galoshes.
Yep. Could happen.
Could happen.
Well, we need to go find out. All right. So what we need to do is we need to go and check that out and find a nice restaurant that Golden Image Podcast can review, and we'll just make a whole day out of it.
Sounds good.
All right. There you go.
Good.
Maybe we'll do some putt-putt or while we're down there.
We'll be Terre Hautians for the day.
Terre Hautians. What's up, Terre Hautians? I'm your newest member. Actually, I'm not a big fan of Terre Haute. You ever been down there?
I don't know.
It's a little stinky.
Stinky.
We
could just make a weekend of it.
Indiana.
Go hit all those down there.
There you go.
Oh my God, you're gonna have me trekking down through cemeteries for all over the place.
Drive by.
We're doing a drive-by.
Yeah.
Fox Hollow?
Fox
Yeah.
Hollow Farm. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to go to Fox Hollow Farm. And while we're there, we can do Crown Point, Crown Hill,
Cloverland.
What's the one in Centersville? It was something in Centersville. I forget what it was.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know. So many reports.
Your phone is just going off.
Is that my phone? That wasn't my phone.
That wasn't your phone? Oh.
It wasn't mine.
So Crown Hill is in Marion County.
Which is up close to Fox Hollow Farm.
Step Cemetery is in Martinsville.
Yep.
And
As she leaves through her papers.
Terre Haute, Brazil.
Both of those
Terre
are,
Haute.
the Cloverland, Clovertown, Cloverfield.
Cloverland. 100 steps. Just say 100 steps.
The 100 Step Cemetery
The sign actually says 100 steps.
Just a few miles from Terre Haute. So, from what I saw on the map, it's not that far away. We actually passed by on 70 when it's a little bit north of that, but
Road trip.
We'll make some pit stops on our way to Kansas City, maybe even. No, we'll have to make this a group thing.
It needs to be a
It needs to be an outing.
Thing or a Saturday or whatever.
Yeah,
we need to,
for sure.
Yep.
Well, listeners, we're going to wrap up today's show. We are actually very interested in what you are thinking about the show and where we should go. What should we research? Some cryptid, some haunted hotel. Let us know. The United States Paranormal at gmail.com. Also, what would you like to see us do on the upcoming shows of TUSOP? Do you want us to go and have Bobbi do 100 steps, or would you want us to record that while she's walking up there?
It's just me. 1, 2,
25.
What are you doing? Hey, the old caretaker stand there going, "Are you fucking kidding me? Not another one." We are open for suggestions, and we would love to hear your feedback. That is the United States Paranormal at gmail.com. And if you like United States Paranormal and you want to rep it, go check out the United States Paranormal.com and dig into the merch page. We got some great merch on there. Logan and the Tejas boys did a great job of getting that all set up. And, man, there's some great art on there. And Printful's quality is really good. So don't be afraid to just go check that out. And also go check out all the other shows on the Golden Mojo Entertainment Empire of podcasting wonderful land, which includes
The Call Guys.
Very good. Who's on The Call Guys?
With Gunner and Colton. Suck it, Colton. Sorry, had to throw that in there.
Wow, she come out of nowhere on that one.
I love you, Colton.
How about on Tuesdays? Oh, it's Golden Image Podcast. You were doing so.
Golden Image with Skylar, the Skywalker.
The Skywalker. Chico Noise.
Chico Noise. Why are you pointing over there? And you.
And Golden Jazzy J.
Golden Jazzy J. Changing their name up.
I'm just pointing. I'm just
pointing.
I'm just not using finger guns. I'm just pointing. Of course, on Wednesdays, United States Paranormal. On Thursdays, it is the Indiana Chiefs fans, which are on hiatus for the off season. Yeah, we did season 1. We finished that up a couple weeks after the Super Bowl. We super enjoyed our whole entire time. We interviewed people out in Kansas City when we were there. We talked about every game, every stat that we could put out there. It was just a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. We also interviewed almost Andy Reid, and we had several guests, some super fans like Casey Mike and Coach
Trevor.
Rob and Trevor. Yeah. Super fans. And then, of course, on Friday, you can listen to A Court of Books and Booze. That's right. They are your basement book club where they read a book and they tell you all about it.
With Skylar, Jessica, and
Amanda.
Thank you.
they
Too many A's in that group. My gosh.
That's a lot going on there. But of course, they are a bi-weekly. They come out every other week, and they talk about they're in the middle of the Throne of Glass series still. I believe. I think they're getting close to wrapping that up. But they're coming out with, on the off weeks, a little short called A Quart of Books and Booze, the Milk and Cookie edition.
Aww.
And your grandson did an amazing job on the first episode. I got a free preview of it, so I get to listen to it. Aspen did an amazing job as they talked about one of his favorite children's book. So,
nice.
Yeah, we're looking forward to when that's going to come out. I don't know exactly when it's going to come out, but keep an eye out. The Milk and Cookies edition. They are going to probably use Aspen for a little bit, on a couple of the next couple episodes to get a kind of feel of how the whole thing works. But then they're going to, can you imagine a book series with your granddaughter?
Ooh.
But, some of the other kids that are in their group that they know, and, it'll be interesting to see what they venture off for other children besides just the family kids. But there's so many of those, they could last forever.
Yeah, very cool.
But, also on Fridays, it is the Murd Nerds. It is Alicia, who's got several children of her own, which will probably fall into the Milk and Cookies. And Ashley, as they talk true crime. They're having a very interesting April. Have you been listening? That's all I'm going to say. Then there you go. That's the Golden Mojo Empire right there. So, yeah, thanks. Thanks, you two. Thanks for coming in and hanging out and telling your stories. I know that...
Stiffy Green!
J-Dub is getting a T-shirt soon, I swear.
Yeah.
All right. So until next week, we'll
Bye.
See you on the other side. To support other Golden Mojo Entertainment productions, check out Golden Image Podcast, The Call Guys, and Murd Nerds wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. To see photos and find new episodes of the United States of Paranormal, follow us on our social media. Twitter at TUSOPPOD or Instagram at the United States of Paranormal and Facebook, the United States of Paranormal. If you have a place that you'd like us to look into or would like to share your spooky story that we can read on the air, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com.